All right. So I'm with, why don't you tell me a little about yourself and who you are?
My name is Christopher Daniel. I am a curriculum coordinator in Columbus City Schools for the Career Tech Department. This is my 23rd year in education. All 24 years I've been in Columbus City Schools. This is my second year outside of the classroom.
And you told me something that piqued my interest. And you said you wanted to talk about school safety. What did you want to say about school safety?
Well, I said school safety or lack thereof, because unfortunately, a lot of districts don't believe school safety is necessary because it'll never happen to us.
Uh-huh.
And that is a problem. As a veteran, as a father, as a football coach, as security of my church, school safety needs to be a priority. And a lot of people don't believe that.
So what do you think is the solution to that?
Education.
And
We go around educating them on curriculum and educating them out of a book, but we don't educate them how to save their life.
so when you say them, who are you talking about?
Oh, the people in charge, our district.
The district,
Yes.
kids,
Kids,
staff,
everyone.
teachers,
Anyone that's
custodians.
involved.
Yeah. So when there is a mandate at a school, how is that implemented?
So we were run, hide, fight,
Uh,
but now it's changed to something else that is still the same synonyms of run, hide, fight. Um, but there's no education on it. There's no training on it. You get a pamphlet. You go online to Public School Works, and you do the little 5-minute video,
Uh-huh.
and now you're certified to save the life of your classroom.
and you think that's sufficient?
Not in my world.
Not in your world, right? So I'm not a football coach, but I use a lot of analogies through the football realm, right? So I work for a school district, and my school district spent more money, more time, more effort on a single football game than they did on their entire district's safety policies, programs, their budget for safety. The cost to put on a football game, a weekly football game, was more than what they had allotted for the entire district's safety security program.
That's believable.
Is that right?
That is absolutely believable.
And so when I go in, all I'm asking is, let's at least treat it like a football game, right?
I like that.
Let's treat it like a football game. Let's fund it properly. Let's give them training. Our kids on the football team know more about their opponent and how to resolve their issues with their opponent. They work through it. They're trained all week long for next week's game, right? And how do we get that? How do we get that from where we are today to get that kind of mentality for safety? What do you think that process looks like?
It would be it'd have to be a mindset shift. No one sees it as important. No one sees it as needed. They see, hey, we got to win this football game. We got to beat these rivals, but they don't see, oh, we need to make our classroom safe for our students.
Right.
They tell us that we need to make sure everything is inclusive, and the kids are safe to come in, but they need to be safe while they're there.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the extreme, right? School safety or school football athletics is more important to the schools than the lives of their children.
If you ask them, they're going to say no.
Right.
If you look at the numbers, it says yes.
So
numbers don't lie.
Right. So let's talk about $100 million contracts to football coaches.
It's true. No, it's true.
Right. $100 million. You think that whatever university we're talking about is spending that kind of money on school safety?
No, not at all.
Right. So the reality is we have to dedicate our time, our money, our experiences, and we have to get our people trained.
Correct.
And the biggest obstacle for me as a safety guy is this mentality that it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
The probability that any school is involved with an active shooter is actually pretty small.
Correct.
Right? So people are really, their plan is, I hope it doesn't happen. And hope is not a strategy. You're not going to win
No,
a football game
no, on hope.
on
You win it on
right?
planning.
On planning, execution, implementation, mandates. You have to be at practice. I remember I was injured early in my high school football career. So, but after I rehabbed my knee, I couldn't play. You know why I couldn't play? Because I didn't have the requisite number of practices under my belt
To be able to play.
to be able to play. Let's do
Let's do
that.
the same thing.
Let's have some mandates. Let's look at changing. Now, you said a mind shift. I want to have a culture shift in our schools. I want our administrators to, when they start, we're right here right now. This is one of the reasons I think this conference is right now.
Mm-hmm.
Our administrators are in the process of planning for the 24-25 school year.
Correct.
Right? So this is the time that I think we start looking at our school administrators, our school boards, our district folks, and we start saying, okay, we need to incrementally, I'm not saying that we need to correct this in 1 year, but we need to have a vision.
Mm-hmm.
We need to have policy created now. We need to have the time. We need proper training. We need, if we're going to have a run, hide, fight protocol, which I will tell you, we can talk more about this. I've already talked about it quite a bit, is not necessarily correct for everybody in every situation.
Correct.
Especially in the school environment.
Correct.
Your kindergartners can't run.
No.
They can't even run with you.
No.
Right?
They can't hide because they talk too much.
Yeah, right. And so that's where we got to start looking at is, if we're going to have these mandates, great, have these mandates, but let's make sure that we implement them properly. Let's schedule the time. A 5-minute video once a year is not sufficient.
No.
We need all of the, and correct me if I'm wrong, most of us are multimodal trait. We need different ways to learn.
Correct.
Track,
correct.
Visual, audible,
correct.
all of those things. So if we teach that way, we should be taught that way, right? And we should be having these people run drills
all the time.
Run, high, fight. What does that mean? That means you got to run. Well, if you're out of shape and you can't, what are you doing next?
Correct.
What are you doing next?
What are my options?
If you're limited because
limited
you have
mobility.
because you have injuries or whatever, then what do you do? So I feel for you. I do. I really do. But that's where we got to go, from my opinion.
I agree.
Is we got to start now, and we're going to target the 24-25 school year. Training starts in August or whenever, and we have incremental trainings throughout the year. A couple of them,
a lot of touch bases.
Yeah, a lot of, and we're building on foundations. We set the foundation, and then we start building on top of that, and then we have budget concerns. We have scheduling concerns. We have a remedial training. We have all of these things. So I feel your pain. But we'll talk a little bit more. But Chris, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.